The J. Peterman Company Owner's Manual number 8. Winter 1990. This piece was featured in the last reading. We're going to start with why wait longer. Civilization consists of calmly doing things a certain way, despite little outbreaks of madness all around us. The orchestra continues playing on the deck of the sinking ship. The colonel offers you a cigarette for the last moments before the firing squad takes aim. Sipping a nice cup of Earl Grey tea as the tanks roll through the streets. But why wait for an outbreak of madness? You may as well get a head start on calmly doing things a certain way. In this case, brewing coffee or tea, the only civilized way, using a French press. You've seen it done a million times in restaurants that require your waiters to wear morning coats when they bring you the check. But the French press, or infusion method, is neither expensive nor difficult in any way. Here's how it's done. In Paris, in Provence, in Perugia, in Vienna, in Vevey. 1. Put in freshly ground coffee beans. 2. Add almost boiling water. 3. Let stand 3 or 4 minutes at table. 4. Press the plunger down. 5. Pour. Serves 8. Complicated, isn't it? Your guests, of course, will find it all very mysterious and interesting. And you'll never look back. No more paper filters. No more expensive beans, but disappointing results. Classic French press. Capacity, 8 demi-tasse cups or 4 standard 7-ounce cups. Heat-tempered glass and heavy nickel-plated brass construction. Instructions included. Made in France. Price, $97.50. We pay shipping. What about this guy? A vest doesn't come right out and hit you over the head with a club. But still, vests do have their own private power of suggestion. A suede vest seen under an open jacket makes you seem just a little on the sophisticated side. People look. They say to themselves, what is it about this guy? Probably has a gull-wing Mercedes that he never even drives. A man in a vest like this seems at ease. This is nothing new. Vests have always had that power. But whether a vest makes a man become that way, or a man who he is, I need to rewrite this. Reread. So hold it. Sorry. A man in a vest like this seems at ease. This is nothing new. Vests have always had that power. But whether a vest makes a man become that way, or a man who is that way always just naturally wears a vest, is not known. Besides all that, there are those pockets to conceal the right card, the necessary key, the missing piece, the breathtaking engagement ring, the monocle, the emergency whistle, the piece of string, the folded note that says I love you or goodbye, or the photograph of the two of you taken under the huge weeping beech one summer. Suede pigskin vest, full leather front and back. Khaki cotton poplin lining. Adjustable back strap, 5 buttons, 2 pockets. Color is cinnamon tobacco brown. No reason to continue living without one. Sizes, men's and women's. Extra small, small, medium, large, extra large. Price, $137. We pay shipping. Russian Navy shirt. Wait a minute. Does Russia really have a navy? They do, of course they do. Watch the news on TV tonight. If they're wearing striped shirts like this, it's the Russian Navy. Unless you see a dark-eyed girl paddling a green boat and her boyfriend laughs and smokes and laughs and his cigarette is slightly less than 1 inch long and permanently attached and he is wearing a not bad looking striped navy shirt, then it's France. Unless it's New York. But if the girl and her boyfriend are both blonde and pale, smoky-eyed, and he, you notice, is deeply tanned and wearing some kind of striped navy shirt without any sleeves, then it's Finland. Or the Isle of Sylt. Or Kirk. Or Sukhumi. Under a suit jacket, it's LA. Or maybe Munich. But when they're both wearing striped navy shirts, it's Zihuatanejo. Or Sochi. If there are 2 girls and 1 boyfriend and all 3 are wearing striped navy shirts, then it's definitely Russia. Unless it's Central Park. Russian Navy shirt. The red tape could have taken a lifetime. Ours, this, therefore, is a copy, a faithful copy, like the original. It's unimproved. Pure cotton. The blue is wonderful. Dark, deep, moody. Maybe it's the Russian soul coming back. Sizes, small, medium, large, extra large. Prices, $15 for tank top, $21 long sleeves. We pay shipping. And on the bottom is a picture of the Russian volunteer fleet steamer Peterberg. Scenes you never saw in the Barefoot Contessa. The skirt. Okay. Ava was the star, a pro. Had no difficulty showing interest in a young bullfighter or 2, if that is what the script called for, or even if it didn't. It was the other woman who made the trouble. She was an actual contessa, a condesa, in fact. Her title was Spanish, not Italian. The idea of the movie was based on her life, on her great beauty. It was her almost total abandon and her appetite that they weren't at all prepared for. Driving from Malaga, she had them stop the car, a whole convoy of cars, really. The Condesa stepped out, strode over to a group of dark-skinned, shirtless gitanos, singling out a young man, barely 19 years old, and in front of them all, but especially him, began a tortured, suggestive slow dance, undoing the buttons of her long leather skirt, one by one, not with her fingers, but entirely with the slow, rhythmic motion of her hips. The American public isn't quite ready for that, the American director was overheard saying, but at the same time, neither he nor Ava nor Bogart nor any of the crew wished to stop looking, nor did they. Ava learned plenty watching the Condessa, and so did the crew. In the ensuing weeks before the film was finished, but very, very little of it ever made its way into the film that was released to the public. One little thing did, though. You may remember it. A handsome and aristocratic leather skirt. Full, sensuous, and rather sweeping. This is it. A careful copy. Luxurious suede pigskin, rich light brown, fully lined. Flat 1 3/4 waistband, zipper and 2-button closure in back, 2 front pleats, 2 side pockets, sizes 6, 8, 12, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, approximately 35 inches in length, price $263. We pay shipping. In a sheer. There we go. Okay. In the old days, 600 or 700 years ago, there were rumors of certain isles just beyond the edge of the known world. Inishir was one of these. Nobody had ever been there. Inishir was beyond the edge of safety. In those days, a voyage might take years, even part of a lifetime. Where's your husband these days? Aboard a ship to China, they say. Has yet to see his son. Inishir is near now, but not too near. Moody, beautiful, not quite a part of the rest of the world, like a wild horse. Here in Inishir, off Ireland, in low stone cottages, women make lovely, rugged, thick sweaters for their voyaging men. The manner of knitting in each is different, each original and patiently made. The colors are what need describing. Blues, but what kind of blues? Smoky, subtle blues, moody blues, lapis and gray, the blues of skies and eyes and dark sea pools, jay's wings, remote blues, hypnotic Inishir blues, all of them, to someday bring the men back home again. Sizes, small, medium, large, 100% wool, individually handmade in Ireland. Price, $263. We pay shipping. Note, the hank of yarn shows the general color range. Please accept the fact that each sweater, color, and pattern differs a bit. Not as much as snowflakes under a microscope, but more than each wave coming in. We are not dealing here with machines, but with Irish genius, Irish temperament. I don't know if you can see the detail in that sweater. Isn't that lovely? The J. Peterman grip. My search for something small enough to throw under the airplane seat, but big enough to hold the ridiculous amount of stuff you actually need with you for meetings around town or across the country, led me to discover the obscure but noble American plumber's bag. With certain cautious modifications, it now seems exactly right in its new role. Immensely strong natural cotton duck, soft and supple leather, zippered outside pocket, detachable shoulder strap, slightly dashing without trying too hard, and just enough different from everything else. Dimensions: length is 19 by width 9 inch, 19 inch by 9 inch, with height being 14 inches. Note, now being made with a bit darker, handsomer leather as shown, and canvas body is now Scotch guarded. Price, $161. We pay shipping. You can't see it. I'm not really good at this. That's okay. Oh. It's just cool stuff. 10th Mountain Parka, or 10th Mountain Anorak. America's elite ski corps during World War II, the 10th Mountain Division began with a nucleus of brash, individualistic, unconventional mountaineers, all of them young. They had to train the Army. The Army didn't train them. It was guerrilla warfare on skis, conducted at the tops of mountains. They had to train. We didn't know what fear was. We were young, one of them said. This single division routed 5 German divisions in the northern Italian Alps in the final days. These days, there is an international coalition of 400,000 of these former mountain soldiers. They come from the US, from France, Austria, Italy, and West Germany. They meet and tell stories. You ought to hear the stories. A. The 10th Mountain Parka, available September 15th. An authentic adaptation. Tough and beautiful, 6 intelligent pockets, double shell, camouflage white outside, khaki inside, 60% cotton, 40% nylon, water repellent and breathable. Heavy-duty hardware, Canadian coyote fur ruff, removable. This parka sells like hotcakes in Aspen, where it is made and you can buy it. Elsewhere, when people see it on the slopes, they can only stare and hope. Size men's 0 to 5, see chart at right, and women's 0 to 5. Price $415. We pay shipping. B. The 10th Mountain Anorak. Identical materials as the parka above, but center zip opening. Drawstring waist side pockets. Coyote rough. Anorak available in black and khaki in addition to white khaki. Sizes men 0 to 5, women 0 to 5. Price $445. We pay shipping. The counterfeit mailbag. The secret thoughts of an entire country were carried in leather bags exactly like this one. Except this one, a copy, isn't under lock and key at a museum. It's for sale. I borrowed an original from a friend, a retired mailman who, like thousands before him, was kind enough to test it out for years on the tree-lined streets of small towns everywhere, before you were born. The test was successful, even though discontinued, it can't be improved upon. It's simply perfect as a device for carrying important ideas and feelings back and forth. And the same as with those old and scarce beautiful mailbags, people will look forward to seeing what you've got inside. The counterfeit mailbag, containing one vast unzippered pocket and another zippered. Shoulder strap and handle. Size 15-inch long, 7-inch wide, and 12.5-inch tall. Strong, soft leather that will only get better. A beauty. Price $275. We pay shipping. How to take care of the mailbag. The first scratch will kill you, but in fact, it's the first step in the right direction. Patina. So the sooner it gets scratched, nicked, bumped, dug, hit, squeezed, dropped, bent, folded, and rained on, the better, really. When you receive your mailbag, it's so fiercely new looking, I'm almost ashamed of it, but there's no choice. It would cost too much to pre-age each mailbag before sending it out to a customer. Antiques cost more than new for a reason. Here's my recipe for accelerating the aging process. First, spend one day, the whole day you get it, the way it is, brand new. Then the next day, scratch it all over with your fingernails, lightly. This will horrify you at first. Then spray mist it with plain water, lightly, let it dry. The scratches will lose their rawness, they will look old. Repeat this treatment as often as you can stand to, once a week for 5 weeks, then once a year. Cleaning mailbag with plain water only, not petrochemicals, not oils, not detergents, not mystery solvents, not leather creams. It will do just fine with plain water and will outlast both of us. Page 76 on that one. Their finest hour. When Churchill said those words, things couldn't have been worse. But he wasn't lying. He was just saying something before anybody else knew it was true. Everybody else was thinking about whining bombs, sirens, husbands gone, children temporarily relocated in the country. And yes, people were also thinking, wouldn't some crisp bacon with Devon be nice right now? All over England at that time, people were seen wearing duffel coats. It was standard issue to British forces. It was the coat for adversity. Men were seen wearing it on the bows of ships on the North Sea and at Scapa Flow. Seen going into number 10 Downing Street and not coming back out for days. Seen getting into the back of Daimlers. Seen at Malta. Seen at Sandringham even. Kennedy over here wore a duffel coat. The photographs show him in it, deep in thought, alone, walking the beach of the Hyannis. What was he thinking? He wore a duffel coat sailing too, as any sane person would. Duffel coats come with everything adversity requires. Hoods, toggles instead of buttons, easier to operate in severe cold. Densely thick, protective, sheltering English wool, although named for a textile town in Belgium. And lastly, character, lots of it. Ours is English, made by the English maker who's been at it since their finest hour. The only concession to the present day is leather attachments and horn toggles. And the most gorgeous, smooth, navy blue English wool and dark tartan lining. A coat for looking good while dealing with adversity and good times and history. Men's sizes 38 to 46. Women's sizes 8 to 16. Price $475. We pay shipping. Nantucket sweater. Indians named it Nantucket, meaning faraway land. And that is what it still is. In winter, the population drops down to 7,000, sometimes to 3,000. The little summer roses that cross the tops of cottages are gone. The wind blows the waves back. In winter, you breathe the lost sea smell. Winter is the time to come, I think. Try a small hotel, bring books, good walking shoes. Give the fire in the fireplace the full attention it deserves. Read, drink a little wine, eat thick chowder. Wander 15 miles up one side of the island and 15 miles back the other side. I did exactly those things 19 years ago. Bought a good sweater there. I'd say it's got another 19 years in it. Just located somebody to duplicate it. Same uncomplicated cotton. Same fresh sea smell. Same odd construction. Same mood as the original. Made without shortcuts. People often ask me where I got it. They're probably going to ask you too. Sizes are unisex. Small, medium, large, extra large. Color is natural. Price, $68. We pay shipping. Not lovely. Mm-mm-mm. Four whale. In high school, we called them cords. We didn't know it then, but cords have something other pants don't have. A fairly snooty pedigree. Corduroy was the cloth of French kings, corde du roi. That isn't the end of the matter. Out of the corner of your eye, you notice that the man climbing the ladder to thatch the roof of that sensational thick-walled cottage in Dorset isn't wearing merely corduroy pants, but extra wide whale corduroy pants. Aha! The Broadway director driving into work from Snedden's Landing in his Aston Martin is wearing, naturally, very wide whale pants. The abstract expressionist artist roughing it in his $1.3 million loft in Soho is wearing what else? Enormously wide whale pants. What is at work here is evidence of a worldwide but unspoken preference. Wider is better. Whales are the soft velvety ribs of corduroy. The fewer the whales per inch, the wider they are. The wider they are, the more handsome. Why? God works in mysterious ways. I have a theory about wide whales. They are the visual counterpart, I think, of the unashamed external exhaust pipes bulging from under the hood of a 1929 Mercedes-Benz SSK. They proclaim their advantage in public, unable to keep such power a private matter. I had to go to some length to find a four-whale corduroy, and I am pretty confident that you will appreciate it when you see it and wear it. Lustrous and velvety, but thick and deep and bumpy. very uncitified, striking just the right note of dressing down when worn with a contradictory upscale sports or suit jacket and tie. No fooling four-whale cotton corduroy pants, front pleats, 7 belt loops, 2 on-seam side pockets, 2 rear pockets, zip fly, 6 suspender buttons. The color is a loamy dark espresso brown, but containing evidence of a deep, quiet charcoal green, a beautiful thing. Men's sizes 30 to 46, hemmed or cuffed to your order. Price $66. We pay shipping. Amanuensis. In Singapore in the old days and small towns across Yemen, Oman, and Morocco, I have seen the town scribe, an indispensable man, located always in the center of things, whose job it is to read your letters to you, to tell you of coming events. Such a luxury, long gone. To whom do we entrust the enterprise of our lives today? The empire-toppling little details. Moroccans had their amanuenses, Yemenis their scribes, English officers their bat boys. English gentlemen had their butlers. Generals have their chiefs of staff. Where are our major dormos, our charge d'affaires, our aides de camp? Where is the person to tell us where to be on Wednesday? You and I need somebody or something better at running our lives than we are. After all, what qualifications do we have for such an important job? The something you and I need is an organizer. It remembers your daily schedule. It accommodates all manner of note-taking. Calories consumed, addresses, phone numbers, the months, the years, the days, the dates, the holidays, the forward planning, the backward reviews. You'll wonder how you ever got along without it. All of it nicely enclosed in a 6.5-inch by 8.5-inch baseball glove leather ring binder with snap fastener. Very spiffy and useful, and it works. Price $116.50. Refills available. We pay shipping. How to behave in a French sidewalk cafe. The sidewalk cafe will be your base of operations. Your objective? The conquest of France. We all have to start somewhere. Start in Paris. Don't even consider a tryout in the provinces. The provinces don't exist. Stage your campaign bravely in one of the great historic sidewalk battlefields. Café du Magot, Café de Flore, Brasserie Lip, Closierie de Lilas. Begin the attack by sitting down. Next, the secret weapon. Put on your flip-ups from the Peterman Company. Let ripples in a pond like tom-toms in a jungle. The word goes out. Women begin openly discussing you and watching and analyzing, then ranking you. Men engage in open speculation about your books, your films, your racing cars. Waiters become noticeably more helpful. All available tables near you are now occupied entirely by women, if you are a man, by men, if you are a woman. You're gaining rapidly. Don't, at this point, risk everything attempting to pronounce French correctly. The French will annihilate you. Note, no one, not even in the French, can pronounce French correctly. They regard each other with grave suspicion for that reason. This is a separate subject. Do as the English have done since winning the game at Agincourt, October 25th, 1415. Simply pronounce French as though it were English, which of course you happen to speak fluently. The French will be dazzled. You've put them in the odd position of having to decipher their own language. While you storm ahead, they fall hopelessly behind. Now the coup de grace. Flip up your flip-ups, revealing a kinder, less threatening demeanor. This is your Dr. Zen mode. The up built into every pair of flip-ups. Use power wisely. Conquest has responsibilities. Flip-ups, original design based on industrial welding spectacles. Highest quality polished metal frames made in England. 4. Center cast polycarbon lenses provide total protection from both UVA, 315 to 380, and UVB, 280 to 315 radiation. Leather case included. Your own prescription lenses, of course, may be substituted by an optician at a later time. Price $89. We pay shipping. Flip-ups. And last, put it on the back cover even. No page wasted. Next to your skin. Certain things a person puts off forever, both big and small. Some little thing you've always wanted. Don't let yourself think about it. Not now, not now. Later maybe. Safer to push it down in your thinking. After all, you can't just go ahead and actually let yourself have what you want, can you? A leather shirt worn next to your skin. Electricity entered the room. A leather shirt gives a person, male or female, the natural, unmanufactured ritziness and effortless grace of an animal ambling along through limitless fields of high rippling grass. An animal on modified alert, like a weightless antelope that can go anywhere in its thoughts take it. Like a weightless antelope that can go anywhere its thoughts take it. Or like a great cat, just shopping. The simplest things are always the best. This is one of them. Simple classic leather shirt. Shirt collar, shirt tail hem, 2 reverse pleat pockets, button flaps. Soft suede pigskin, beautiful light brown, a color you might see somewhere along the Tana River, far from Nairobi. A beauty. Sizes, men's and women's, extra small to extra, extra large. Price, $315. We pay shipping.